مردم ترس براشون داشته. یعنی رو قضیه خیلی حساس شدن. 6-7 ماه دنبالشن، خب اصلا گیرش نمیارن.
این یارو که انیشتین نیست، بالاخره یه سرنخی، یه نشونی، چیزی باید باشه دیگه.
یارو هم قاتل معمولی نیست.
پس کجا می‌مونی؟
Ali Abbasi, good morning. Your new film, Holy Spider, is in competition in Cannes. It's a great film, a very fascinating movie based on a true story. The story of a serial killer in Iran, in the city of Mashhad. The action took place in the early 2000s. You decide to adopt different point of view of the killer himself, and also the point of view of female journalists.
The interesting thing is the context, really. The interesting thing is not the serial killer as a story, it's more the society that produces. It's a serial killer society. But I also think that it was important to underline this theme of misogyny that is a big theme in the movie. I mean, I've been, saying this over and over again, talking also to many of your colleagues, that Iran might not be the only place that has problem with misogyny, but it's one of the places where you really acutely feel it.
به ما گفتن مسائل مذهبی رو بیخیال شو.
کی گفته؟
The killer is not fascinating as himself because he doesn't have a charisma. He's not an evil mind or genius of evil. Is a result of two different things: the religious education, very strict, and the war.
It's a double taboo in Iran to talk about these stuff. Like, firstly, the religious subjects generally, to insinuate that a religious person can be a bad person in itself is a taboo. Anything that has to do with war veterans, it's off topic, according to the Iranian official media.
مثلا دفعه آخر چی گفت؟
آدرس جای نعش رو بهم داد. عصبانی هم بود. نمیخواد بهش بگن قاتل. میخواد اسم کارشو بذاریم جهاد علیه فساد.
The people of the cities, which is a very religious city, they consider him as a hero, and they don't want the police to stop him because he's killing prostitutes, sex workers.
در همین حال عنکبوت قاتل بر مشهد سایه گسترده است.
Yeah, and that's a very interesting thing when you look at that city, because it's the second largest city in Iran, so it's like our Marseille, It has the same sort of drug route connotations because it is on the major drug route from Afghanistan over to Europe. And at the same time, it's a very international city because there's a lot of pilgrimage, because the huge shrine, one of the holiest places for Shia Muslims, that is situated there. So you put all this together, and also because of it being a fairly industrial metropolitan area, there are a lot of immigration. There's a lot of Afghan immigrants. There's a lot of poor areas. There's a lot of like shady suburbs. They are also people who are disillusioned with the Iranian government, who think that they, or like the segment at least in the Iranian society, that think that at the time and now that Iran is like Las Vegas, and it's too much vice, there's too much immorality in the street. And in a sense, going back to this context, like why I told you this, in a sense I think that is true.
پرده داریم توطئه می‌کنیم. شما باید مراقب رفتارت باشی. علل خصوص در مشهد مقدس.
If you think of the image you have from Iran, of like very strict and being very closed and blah blah blah, in reality, prostitution, for example, take one thing, in this city, in Mashhad, is not only tolerate it, it's not really like they don't do anything about it. And I think it's for obvious reason, because it's good for business. You know, these pilgrims, they also need to have fun, you know, and it's part of that local economy and part of that complexity of this picture.
Thank you, Ali.
Thank you very much.
یعنی این چیز میخوام یادداشت کن. یادداشت بکنی؟
بله بفهم من دارم
جاده قدیم قوچان حوالی فلکه شهید فهمیده. برین جمعش کنین تا نگرفت.
شما الان کجایین؟
چه کار داریم و کجای مادر قبه؟ گوش کن. یک به یک هیچ اندار از بین مبروم. مدرس بردار نیام.